This week on The Big Show, with both the Emmy Awards and the Black Reel Television Award nominations on the horizon, we're kicking off our ultimate Black TV Countdown, a 4-part series celebrating the most impactful and beloved Black television shows of all time. We're starting with a massive list of over 130 shows and paring it down to create our definitive list of the top 100 Black TV shows. We doing all of this for y'all. From powerhouse dramas to unforgettable comedies, groundbreaking limited series to fearless sketch shows, these are the stories that laid the foundation for the culture. And all that and more on the latest episode of Keeping It Real with FilmGordon. Let's go. And welcome to the latest episode of Keeping It Real with FilmGordon. I am Tim Gordon, joined by Charles Kirkland Jr. here in the studio. Charles, what's up, man? We're back home.
Man, I'm chilling like a villain, and illin' if I'm willing. I'm here in the spot. Let's go.
Producer Shane Lewis chuckled like I did in the back. Charles, it's so funny. Before we got on the air, me, Shane, and Charles, Shane, who nobody ever sees, was like, I said, before we start the show, we want to try to get the foolishness of Charles Kirkland out in the open. Shane, I think I did a good job. I at least we went over one thing, so we didn't have to get that, but I couldn't get the chilling like a villain part out the show. Charles is just Charles, man.
Illin' if I'm willing.
Wow. All right, man, we got a big show. We got a big show today, and as I said, I think when I made the statement in the opening that we did this for the audience, we could have easily kind of like behind the scenes, because you were with me when I was at the movies, when I was talking to all of the critics, and I was like, we can pare this list down. We can actually do this in real time.
Oh yeah.
So the goal with this is not just to get rid of the films that are more, because I told you we're starting with over 130 films.
TV series.
I'm sorry, I keep saying films because we do FilmGordon. 130 TV series plus TV series that we're working with. We need to not only whittle it down to 100, then when we get that 100, we have to put those 100 in order. We got to rank them. So it's a lot of work. So we got 4 weeks to do it, man. So today, I think the goal is for us to literally eliminate some movies.
Today, right here.
I mean, because, maybe not all of them today, because we've got to have at least a couple of weeks of rankings. You know what I thought about, Charles, would have been cool if it was, say, March. We could have done like a March Madness thing.
Yeah, I thought about that too.
But the March Madness would take too long, because it's that's almost like a year. Apparently, like every week you would come in here and it would be like a versus. You would do this film versus this film, or this TV show versus this TV show.
Right.
It's tough
to get to it, but then you do have an idea of what your number one would be. Easy, quicker.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think if we are doing it as kind of a round robin, like the day, like if we used that today, it would be really easy, because you would just be able to lop off like 72. I think the total is 136 that we have. So
something like that.
If you cut that in half, oof, man. Yeah, that would be pretty significant, man. So
I mean that's the whole point, is you want to get down to.
But the issue is that you don't really, in our example, we're trying to get to the top 100, so we got to kind of lop off like 36 movies. But again, I don't think we should do all 36 today. I'd be prepared to at least look at about 18 today, half that.
Okay.
So we'll have some fun. We'll talk about that. But then the other fun is going to be in these movie reviews this week. And now, Medea's Destination Wedding actually came out last week. They did not send an advance copy to us. And I didn't even know it was coming out until I turned Netflix on
Netflix, and
it was there. And I was like, and I'm going to tell you my first reaction. Very true. I looked at the trailer and I was like, I'm good. I don't need to watch this. And then in my mind, it was like, no, we have a responsibility as critics. And with our particular site, which, by the way, if you have not been to the FilmGordon.com, I am loving the site right now, Charles.
It's fantastic.
I am, no. I'm saying that not because it's a site that Charles and I write on. Let's just be very transparent, Charles. While we were working on the Light Reel Film Festival,
that joker was...
Man, that site had dust
sparse.
on it. Shane, that site had dust. There was tumbleweeds rolling on that page. There was nothing happening.
People calling us and saying, hey, are y'all still in the game?
Oh. I told you what happened this week. Look, so I think over the last, what has it been now, about 3 weeks, that we went in, because the thing that was interesting about it was that we had done the work. It just wasn't on the page.
It just wasn't up there.
It wasn't on the page. We do this show every week. So all the reviews and all the things that, like all the different shows, I talked to Shane. I was like, hey, man, I need some more shows. And we got them up. So once we put everything up and put all the reviews up, oh, my God. Yeah. And cleaned up some of the sub bars, the review page, so people can go in and see the latest reviews, and you can see the latest trailers, and you can see the latest shows. It's fantastic. Loving the site. Look at Shane. Are you on the site right now? Yeah. Is the site good? Thank you. So I say all that to say that after the day, I think we're going to create something where we have a list that we run. And I want to also I think we should invite the audience, not necessarily to be a part of the decision making, but we should hear what the audience has to say, because everybody watches television and knows these shows.
We give out an audience award at
we're not giving out an audience award. This is not a film festival piece.
We're not going to let the audience select their favorite.
No. The audience can come. Like what we'll do is, once we write the pieces and put them online at the FilmGordon.com, they can always comment.
Right.
So you can comment, because I want to hear what people have to say. So, yeah. So it's going to be interesting. So we had that coming up. But I was getting back to Madea. So I said, hey, man, no, I'm good. And then Pride kicked in, and I wrote the review while I was watching it. Because, like we talk about sometimes, I was teasing you, because when we talked about Superman a couple of weeks ago, Charles was like, man, I wrote half that review before I saw the movie, which makes sense, because you knew.
Exactly.
You knew. So I watched enough Tyler Perry movies, meaning like all of them. I've watched enough Tyler Perry movies to sort of understand, specifically when he's dealing with Madea, it's the same characters that are in each one of these movies. It's always him playing himself, Brian, then it's him playing Madea, him playing Uncle Joe, and then there's David Mann and his wife Tamala Mann, and then what is it, Cassie? What's her
Cora.
name? No, I'm talking about her real name. Cassie, whatever her name is, but she plays Cora.
Right.
So those guys are all going to be in every movie. There's going to be hijinks and foolishness. A lot of it, which I don't like, and then there's going to be a story, which is a little. I mean, it depends, because Madea. I can do all bad by bad. I can do bad all by myself. Was a Madea movie, right?
Correct.
And I'm trying to think. So there have been some Madea movies that he's cast some legitimate actors in.
Oh yeah. I mean, Taraji is like a staple for him.
Yeah, I'm just saying that in the Madea movies, right? Because Tyler has two types of movies. He'll make, like she was in Acrimony, which was not a Madea story. But I'm trying to think. Was Journey Smollett in one of the Madea films where she played a woman? We should probably do a show sometime in the near future when the next Tyler Perry movie's coming up, because there's probably another one coming up pretty soon.
We don't get enough heads up on those things. I mean, it just drops in.
Well, there's a reason. Because if Tyler told you it was coming out, you'd have time to avoid it, but it just sneaks up on you. And he has the Amazon deal and he has the Netflix deal.
So you never know where and when.
Man, and I'm telling you, when I say I was surprised, I was like, oh. There's a new Tyler Perry movie out? Wow. So that was my initial thought on the Tyler Perry film. But so having said that, we also have Eddington this week, which has Joaquin Phoenix and what's guy's name?
Pedro Pascal.
Mr. Pedro, I'm not turning down any role, Pascal.
He's taking every job.
Man,
if
his
say,
agent,
here's
look,
a script.
Shane, they call his agent up and they be like, we got a script. He's in. But you haven't read it. He's in.
He's in. Just
to show you how busy this dude is, we saw a movie the year Charles went to Sundance called Freaky Tales.
Yeah.
He's in Freaky Tales, which came out in April. He's in Eddington, which came out this week. He's in Fantastic Four, that's out next week. And then is he in something else later this year?
Probably.
This dude, man, like, the only thing he's turning down is his collar. That bruh is like, I'm taking all the money. I heard, he said, I met Sam Jackson. He didn't say this, but I met Sam Jackson. Sam Jackson ain't turning down no roles.
No.
I saw a movie recently called The Unholy Trinity. Pierce Brosnan, Samuel L. Jackson. I don't even know who else was in it. But
you told me about that. I had to look it up. I was
watch
like,
this. The only reason why you even watch that movie is because them two dudes are in it. Because if they weren't in it, that's like a Lifetime TV movie.
Okay, so let's not forget that he was in The Materialists, which came out a couple weeks ago.
Was Pedro Pascal in that?
Yes, he was.
Oh, my God.
So, I mean, yeah.
So that's 4 movies, Shane, in the space of like 2 months. 4 movies. Wow. That's all I can say, man. Yeah. Also this week is Billy Joel, And So It Goes. And I watched that because I really love Billy Joel.
I love Billy Joel.
I love Billy Joel. So they put out. Did you see an email I sent you about a potential interview?
Yes. They had sent it to me too, but yeah.
You want to do that one?
I think I'm going to do that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, that'd be cool. Man, you get some of that Tropic Thunder, some booty sweat on you. You'll see when the interview comes out. Because that's the first thing I was like, they offered some sweat to you. Okay, cool. All right, so let's chop into it, man. We done put a lot of time. I knew this was a 4-week segment, so or a 4-week series. So, all right, so let's get started, man. Kick off our list of what are we calling it? The ultimate list of 100 black television.
Ultimate Black TV countdown.
Thank you, sir. Glad that's not really why you're here, but thank you for that one.
Oh, sure.
All right, so let's get it started, man. We're going to start off with black dramas first. And, we're looking over the last 40 years, there's been, Charles, as you see, a groundbreaking dramas. Shows like Queen Sugar, The Wire, Snowfall, New York Undercover. We're going to also look at how these stories series. I keep saying stories. These series told rich, layered stories of black life, love, and struggle. And think about how these shows were awarded, were they recognized with awards like Emmys, Black Real Television Awards, etc., versus the cultural resonance, right? Now, I was thinking of the first show is so funny because the first 2 shows I thought about were both comedies, so we're going to talk about comedies in a little bit.
Listen.
But let's talk about these black dramas, man, and we're looking at this ultimate list that I've given Charles, Shane, and myself.
It'd be cool if
I would have broke it out by
right.
Well, next week we'll make that happen. Okay. Thank you, man. I apologize.
I mean, you know where I was going.
The producer can't do everything, man.
But it's a great list. So yeah.
All right, so let's look at some of these as dramas. So on the first one, and we got to talk about this, man. So don't get mad at me. This is history. Is this a comedy or a drama? No, that's a comedy. So we can't talk about it yet. I was on number 12 on the list.
Oh yeah, I think you had to get down to the 60s to
so you got to get the
dramas.
60s. All right, so cool. So let's do it. All right, so let's get started, man, with some on the list. I Spy. Bill Cosby and Robert Culp, 1965. Now, he became the first. Now, Bill Cosby was the first African American to be nominated for a lead Emmy, like for Best Actor.
Right.
Drama.
Yeah.
Great show.
And we've had discussions about this before, but don't come for me when I say this, but
Right.
this list is going to be counterfeit if there's not at least 3 Bill Cosby shows on it.
You talking about in the top 10?
In the top.
Or are you talking about the top 100?
Oh, if you're talking about the top 100, it's going to be at least 4.
Okay.
So, and I Spy has got to be one of them. It's got to be in there.
Well, put it to you like this. I Spy, well, yeah. Yes and no. It depends, because I think part of what we're doing, which is interesting, is that on this show, and then we probably need to put it out for our different critics, right, that we talk to, for them to do this. But I'm talking about you and I are of a certain age, so we've seen almost everything that's on this list, right? So
Right.
I don't need to go back and research what I Spy is. I remember I Spy, right? So I Spy, you're right. I agree with you, and you and I have had this conversation already. And without going through each show, let's just run through some of these titles. So Julia from 1968, which of course was Diane Carroll. Got a show on here called East Side, West Side. Now you're like, Charles, do you know anything about East Side, West Side?
I mean, I've never watched it, but I have heard of the show.
I've seen clips of it. I didn't watch it either. It's from like 1963. Ruby Dee was featured on East Side, West Side back in the day. Room 222, you know, is my jam. I still watch that to this day. Mod Squad. Now, as you can see, when I say I watch it to this day,
where do you see it today?
I see it literally on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
So
Me
when
too.
I'm working, I'll pull up one episode of Room 222 because I love the theme so much, because to me it's like snapshot timeless. You know, like when you listen to the I don't want to do it because I don't want to get a YouTube strike.
Right, we good.
But the theme is timeless, right? It gives me hope. You know, it promotes like diversity of the end of the 1960s going into the 70s. It was a very hopeful show.
Right,
Integrated, you know, stories through the perspective of a cool black teacher and his girlfriend who was a guidance counselor, and I think the principal was an Italian dude.
Yeah.
It's a good show. Then they had Karen Valentine for reasons I don't understand at all. Like, what was her purpose on the show? Just to be
color.
No, but I'm just saying, but she didn't serve any functions.
She was kind of cute, and she was.
I guess she was young. So
yeah.
so she was okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. The Mod Squad.
Kind of like, I mean, same channel and same Room 222 vibes.
Yeah, but Peggy Lipton and Clarence were in the third. Now the other guy, I never knew who he was. Who was he? I mean, I'm not saying that to be disrespectful. I'm like,
but
he didn't pop like the other two.
No.
So yeah, so Mod Squad is on here. I got Mannix. Mannix is only on here because his assistant Peggy, after he would get beat down, she would always.
She was always fixing
am
him
I
up.
right? Every week, I was like, okay, no, that's why Peggy's on the show. All right, we got Saint Elsewhere, which is on the list only for 2 words. Denzel Washington. It was his debut. Let's see what else is on it. Hill Street Blues, which was revolutionary for its time. The Wire. Nothing needs to be said. Soul Food, the series, which a lot of people forgot, was a really interesting show, Charles, that ran, was it 5 seasons?
Maybe.
I think it ran 4 or 5 seasons. Underground, which ran 2.
Yeah. 2 seasons. And
Misha Green, before she did Lovecraft Country, did Underground with Aldous Hodge and Journey Smollett. Let's see. Snowfall, which I don't think you ever watched it, but I love that show.
I watched the first season of Snowfall, and then I was like, I got other things to do. I'm not saying that it wasn't a good show. It was just I didn't have the time.
So look at this: Power, The Shy, Greenleaf. Now Delilah is on the list. Help me with Delilah, because that one I'm not really sure about.
I don't know Delilah.
Interesting. Okay, so let me also explain how we got this list, because somebody is sitting at home right now going, how do you have a show on the list that you don't know? We literally did a search and put every black show that has been on television from the inception of television to now on the list, because I didn't want anybody coming for us going, well, you know, that list was good. Now, the only thing that we did, Charles, that was interesting, and I'm still not really clear on this because I think you asked me this, was that we had. Was it you that asked me should we put shows that were British on the show or international shows? And I wanted to talk about the impact of television as we know it. We didn't get a chance to really watch a lot of international stuff until we got to a certain age because that stuff wasn't available.
Exactly. I was going to say it was more because it wasn't available.
All right, Charles.
But I did a little research, and Delilah is an American television drama created by Craig Wright, produced by Oprah Winfrey. The series
this is the OWN show.
On OWN, yes.
Okay.
And ran for 8 episodes and was canceled after that.
Oh, so that must mean like a show like The Secret Diary of Desmond Pfeiffer wouldn't be on this list.
Yeah, no.
So Shane's never heard of that show. It was a show about and Charles checked me on this. It was a show about a guy who worked in the old school White House, I want to say it was.
Yeah.
And it was when the White House, it was very racist because it was like a period drama. And it played 1 episode and they canceled it. It was gone immediately with what's his name, Chi McBride.
Chi McBride.
Chi McBride. I remember that. Yeah, I was like, because I was out. I was like, The Secret Diary of Desmond Pfeiffer. What? Never mind.
I remember this show.
I'm telling you, man. City of Angels. You remember this show?
I remember City of Angels.
You want to hear an interesting City of Angels piece of trivia that's actually very true? Because I might bring it in here and show it to you. I don't know how I did it or why I asked for this, but I asked them for some swag that I think we were going to auction off, Shane. They sent me a shirt, which I still have in some plastic at home, of the entire cast of that show autographed this long sleeve shirt from City of Angels.
Really?
Everybody from Blair Underwood, Gabrielle Union. Now, a lot of people don't remember Viola Davis was on City of Angels. Yep. She's on the shirt.
Really?
Yes. That's why every time I think about City of Angels, I go, yeah, I still got that. Watch this. I don't know what to do with it now because it's not like people remember it. I can't auction it. I can't, like, what am I supposed to do with it? Do I put it in a frame and just hang it up?
City of Angels was like seen elsewhere in Grey's Anatomy.
Like in the 90s. It was a 90s show.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right, cool.
It was a good show.
Oh, so this is good. Lincoln Heights. The next one is a personal favorite. I'll Fly Away. Did you ever watch I'll Fly Away?
Yes.
Shane?
Yes.
Never heard of that. See, Shane is who this show is for because there's shows on here Shane's never heard of these shows. I'll Fly Away was Regina Taylor, who was a maid for a liberal white family, right? And he was an attorney of some kind. Was he a district attorney or something?
District attorney, yeah.
And I never forget when they did the wrap up of I'll Fly Away, because it was all taking place during the civil rights movement, right? And at the end, which I thought was very cool, the last episode, she was older and she was giving a lecture about her new book to some college students. And the way they did it was cool. She was like, and the name of my book is I'll Fly Away. And I was like, woo, Strong J, that was great. So it was a really good series. Let me see what else we got. Now, Atlanta, is Atlanta a drama?
No.
Okay, so that's okay. So Atlanta's not a drama. Being Mary Jane, I remember that. That was a BET show with Gabrielle Union. Yeah. Saints and Sinners is pretty recent. Shots Fired. Remember that? That got canceled prematurely.
Yeah.
Gina Prince Bythewood.
Prematurely?
It was only on for a season.
I'm saying, does that mean?
I'm saying I thought with Gina Prince Bythewood, we've had the conversation on this show. And I'm not saying, and let me just be very transparent so that people can understand the context. Gina Prince Bythewood and I are cool. Like, we're really cool, right? I've been interviewing Gina Prince Bythewood probably since Secret Life of Bees. I'm talking about like on press junkets.
Right,
Woman King,
right.
Beyond the Lights. There's a fascinating story I think I shared with Charles. I'm not doing that one on the air. About what happened in Toronto. That was funny. You coming to the... Nah, I'm not coming. I'll go see it. You remember that?
Yeah.
I'll see it.
Yeah.
But Gina Prince Bythewood, everything she does for the most part, I don't think she's ever had a bad project. Am I wrong?
Shots fired. I don't think it was that really
You didn't think it was that good?
No.
Okay. I mean, I can respect that. I mean, I thought, well,
it was just average. It just kind of just trolled the same stuff that we all.
I thought it could have got another year. It was Stefan
James.
Stefan James and who? Was that Sanaa Lathan?
I think so.
Yeah. Good show.
Yeah.
Well, I thought it was a good show. All American.
Yeah.
Swagger from Reggie Rock Bikewood.
Rock.
Reasonable Doubt. Still on. Love Reasonable Doubt, man. South Central. Remember that?
Yeah.
Tina Lifford, who would later go on to Queen Sugar, who was the star of that show. New York Undercover. Now that.
Ooh.
New York Undercover.
Groundbreaking. Thank you,
New
Fox.
York Undercover was great until it wasn't. It really was. It was, and I can tell you exactly when it stopped being great. Like the middle of season 3, because every time I watch it, I'm like, I'm good after that. I don't want to watch it after this. But up until season 3,
yeah.
Now the other thing that made it groundbreaking was not just the casting of a Latin guy and an African American guy as the 2 lead detectives. Right. They also would hang out at this club that Gladys Knight's character owned, and every week you got to see the hottest acts of the time perform at the club at the end of every show.
Right.
Which I thought was super dope.
It was kind of like Arsenio Hall, when he would bring somebody on the show and perform, but it was a drama. And
it was a drama. Cool. It was a drama. That was a good one. All right, so that's good.
Or even not Chris Rock, but Dave Chappelle when he would do his show.
Right.
And at the end,
Chris Rock did it too.
Yeah.
Chris Rock did it too. So, but we're not talking about sketch right now.
We'll get there.
The Underground Railroad.
You skipped Miami Vice.
Wow. How did I do that, man? Miami Vice, man. Shane wasn't around for this. Miami Vice was like...
It was appointment television.
No. But I'm talking about the very first episode. It was like a thunder because I had never seen anything like that on TV. So Shane, there are 2 events that happened in the 80s, which don't really sound like a big deal now, but were really big deals back then, right? Because you got to remember, there was a time when like cool, young, hip black culture wasn't on TV at all.
No.
Right? So like the first time it happened, I was watching SNL. I think it was like 1982. And there was a skit that Eddie Murphy was doing, and they played The Message.
Oh.
And I was like, is that Grandmaster Flash on television? I was like, wow. So the same thing 2 years later with Miami Vice. In the very first episode, remember when they go to
the club?
They go to the club and they're playing Body Talk from The Deal. And I was like, wait a second, this is different. This is not like regular TV. And then when they got to the end of that episode and you see Don Johnson in that car with the Phil Collins, bruh.
In the air tonight.
Oh my God, man.
Oh my goodness.
Everybody was like, woo! Bruh.
It was like,
that was
what
huge.
Is this?
That was huge.
And from that day on, everybody was like, Friday night at 10 o'clock,
Rico
you were
Tubbs.
home. You home.
Rico Tubbs.
Watching Miami Vice.
Philip Michael Johnson.
Until
I'm sorry. Philip Michael, what's the last?
Philip Michael Thomas.
I said Johnson. Philip Michael Thomas. Woo. Rico Tubbs. Yeah, man. Miami Vice
another
was
series
special.
that was great until it wasn't. When they blew up the car, and then it was like after that you're like, nah.
Yeah.
Michael Mann.
Michael Mann. Small Axe is on the list. Small Axe. Steve McQueen.
Wonderful series.
And again, it was a 6-parter. My favorite one was part 2, Lovers Rock.
Oh yeah.
Did you ever see Small Axe? Did you ever see Lovers Rock?
No.
The house party they had? Woo! I was like, Yeah. I have in-laws
now,
who are from Jamaica, so they love Small Axe.
Now I have a question for you.
Yes.
We said we weren't going to do international. Steve McQueen is British.
Well, I'm saying I was saying that we didn't have access to those shows when we were younger. I said we got access to them later, so we had them on the list. But we'll figure it out.
Okay.
We'll figure it out.
Okay.
So I'm trying to go through some more of these. Self-made, inspired by the life of Madam C.J. Walker.
Lovecraft Country.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Man. Lovecraft Country and The Watchmen. American Crime. Oh yeah, this is gonna be a hard list to pare down, man. Unsung. Oh my God. So those are the dramas, man. So we're there. All right. So Charles, how do you want to do this, man? Because I came up with a series and I came up with a list, but not a methodology on how we're gonna cut this down. Which is why I wanted to talk to you on the fly, like while we're doing this podcast.
Well, I mean, as we're looking at it, you got to think about where this series is culturally. I mean, what did it do? What kind of impact did it have upon the culture, as maybe being groundbreaking or promoting, like you said, the hip hop culture that was coming up at the time? So there's got to be some relevance to it. I mean, you know.
So I think we've reached the end. Knotting Crosses is another British show. So I think before we can start lopping some stuff off, we got to go through as many of these as possible. I'm going to go take it back up to the top to the hardest area to gauge. It's going to be comedies.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so let's move into comedies right now. And this is going to be real tough, right? Because, again, Shane is usually my barometer for a lot of this stuff. Now, Shane knows these shows because these shows are like in the DNA of the black culture, right? So if you start at the top, everybody knows what the Jeffersons, Good Times, Sanford and Son, Different Strokes, 227 is. Am I correct, Charles?
Yes.
All right. The Cosby Show, the Bill Cosby Show from 1971, 71,
Maybe.
72?
One or two.
Okay.
Yeah.
A Different World, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I mean, no explanation is needed for these shows. Martin, Living Single, Family Matters, Hanging with Mr. Cooper, Sister, The Parenthood, The Jamie Foxx Show, Kenan and Kel, Moesha. I mean, stop me when I have to explain any of these shows to anybody in our audience. Stop me when. Let's see. What else do we have?
The Parkers, Smart Guy, Half and Half.
Go ahead, man.
The Hughleys, My Wife and Kids, Everybody Hates Chris.
Yeah.
The Bernie Mac Show, One on One, Read Between the Lines.
Stop.
Are we there?
Stop. What is Read Between the Lines?
I don't know what Read Between the Lines is.
I said stop me when I get to one that somebody doesn't know. Let's look up. What is Read Between the Lines?
Let's see.
Are we there yet? I know that one. Read Between the Lines.
An American family sitcom that follows Dr. Carla Reed, a busy psychiatrist, and her husband as they navigate the challenges of parenting and marriage, starring Tracy Ellis Ross and Malcolm Jamal Warner.
Oh, okay. Look, okay. How do I say this in a nice way that doesn't hurt anybody's feelings? If I have to look your comedy up,
it shouldn't be. It really
yeah. Let me bold that one real quick. All right. Are we there yet? Go ahead, Charles. Are
we there yet? Webster, Charlie and Company.
I remember that. Do you remember Charlie and Company?
I don't remember Charlie and Company.
Charlie and Company was Flip Wilson and Gladys Knight.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh,
Had a series.
yeah.
This is 1986. So I apologize in advance. I watched way too much television when I was young. So the fact that I know all these shows, you know what I mean? Charlie and Company got in trouble because, well, it didn't get in trouble. It was so similar to the Cosby Show was out then too. So I think it was similar in a, not that of the vocations, because what made the Cosby Show so special and was very different was the fact that he was a doctor and she was an attorney, and they were showing black life in a way that was very different than what was on television. Mm-hmm. But Charlie and Company was sort of like a standard sort of a show, and it also came out around the same time as 227.
Right.
So that was the other thing. There was a lot of comparisons around that time to those two shows.
Wasn't Jack A on the show one time or something?
On Charlie and Company? I don't think so. She was on 227, so she couldn't have been on two shows at the same time. I could be wrong. I mean, we look it up. I could be wrong. But go ahead. You said what's happening?
Jaleel White, it was on the show.
Yeah. Talking about Charlie and Company?
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't last long. I remember that. Another show that's on here that's interesting that Shane probably has never heard of is called The Royal Family. Are you familiar with that? Royal Family went 9 episodes.
9.
It starred Red Fox, Della Reese, and it was kind of like this sitcom that he created. He had a heart attack and died.
On
the show while they were filming it. Like not live, but like what they were doing
behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes, he had a heart attack and died
in between takes,
which was really interesting because for years on Sanford and Son, he would always play around that he was doing these fake heart attacks with Elizabeth, and
he had a real one.
Yeah, the real one, and died. Because Eddie Murphy produced the show. He was the producer.
He's writer and producer.
Right.
Yeah.
For the Royal Family. Yep.
Yep.
So that was interesting, man. Eve. We talked about the Steve Harvey show. SETI. See what I'm saying? Let's see. Out All Night. Now, Out All Night, is that the LL Cool J, Debbie Allen show? Because I get these confused. Or is that the Morris Chestnut, Vivica Fox one? Which one is Out All Night?
I'm looking it up. Patti LaBelle and... Patti LaBelle, Morris Chestnut.
Morris Chestnut. Yeah. Okay, I didn't get the Patti LaBelle part right. But
Vivica Fox, Dwayne Martin.
Vivica Fox. What did I say?
I wasn't listening to you.
That's an inside joke. Okay, got you. What about That's My Mama?
That's My Mama.
Another one. Look at Shane.
70s show. I mean,
Shane, you got to get on YouTube, man. I mean, you can't. That's My Mama was Clifton Davis and
what was her name?
God, man, I don't remember.
But it was.
Oh, the woman who would play in The Wiz. That played the Wicked Witch of the West.
Right.
Played his mama on That's My Mama. Oh my God.
It was a great show.
It was pretty good. Frank's Place. Another one Shane's never heard of. Tim Reed and Daphne Maxwell. Well, they met.
Daphne Maxwell Reed, you're right. Because
they met on that show and then wound up getting married. Daphne Maxwell Reed. But it was a cool show about a guy who was a professor, at a college professor, whose father died and left him this restaurant in New Orleans. And he comes in, it was so funny because like they were all looking at him and he didn't know anything about running a restaurant. And he had to deal with like the elite, the business community. It was an interesting show. I think it played maybe a year or two around. It was around the same time as I Fly Away, so this early '90s.
I was gonna say 2, maybe 3 seasons.
Yeah, but that was interesting. Frank's Place, and I remember going to that restaurant years later in New Orleans. Food wasn't good. It was not good. It was like.
No, I was never inspired to look up Frank's Place when I went to New Orleans. Sorry.
Hey, man, I love the theme of Frank's Place. You know what it means to miss New Orleans? Yeah, it's a good one, man. Oh, who can forget Rock?
Rock.
Oh, my God.
Charles Dutton.
Wait, hold on a second. Who can forget Rock? We both staying at Shane.
He's like, I have no idea. Like, don't even come for me with that.
Wow, this is amazing to me. Shane, you should be highlighting every one of these shows.
Rock was in the 90s, right?
Rock was a 90s show.
Yeah.
But you got to remember, Shane, he was born in the 90s. Yeah. Shane wasn't alive when Rock was on air. He wasn't.
Wow.
Yeah. So that would make sense. So Shane doesn't remember Eve yet either, do you?
No, he can't.
How can you know Eve? On reruns?
Well, I was going to say in reruns.
You didn't watch Eve
but he didn't
live.
watch it live.
Yeah. All right. Gullah Gullah Island is one of the ones, and Cousin Skeeter. You guys had to talk to me about those two.
Those are Nickelodeon shows.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, we have a trip. We're going down to South Carolina in a couple weeks to the Gullah Gullah Island area.
Okay.
And we're looking forward to. I mean, it was a really, really good portrayal of life in South Carolina and the Gullah Geechee culture there. It was nice.
Okay, so we got Lil Bill on here, which was Bill Cosby.
Again.
We got really? Yeah, well that makes sense. So Shane, so Shane probably watched that one.
He was sucking his thumb watching.
Yeah, I didn't say that part. That was Charles.
Still sucking your thumb, though.
Sucking his thumb and watching it. All right, so let's look at. Well, we got a couple of minutes, man. Let's look at some sketch comedy shows, and there's some pretty good ones on here. Let's start with Soul first. So Soul. I don't know if a lot of people remember Soul. I never. The only thing I know about Soul is they made a documentary that a friend of mine, Melissa Hazlip, produced that became a Black Reel Award nominee, and I think it was also an Emmy nominee, which predated or came out around the same time of Soul Train, right?
Right.
So Soul, Shane, was a show where her uncle, I want to say his name, I forget something Hazlett, what his name is, I can't remember his name, but he hosted a show that was kind of like on like a PBS network, and it was a show where he would get all these influential black folks to sit down for conversation. So he had people in there like Gil Scott-Heron, Muhammad Ali, like he got real people to come and do the show because there weren't a lot of shows.
It was the Dick Cavett show for black people.
Bingo. But there weren't a lot of shows. That's why I said it's funny now when we look at lists like this of thinking of how far we come. Like everything's so normalized right now. Like it's like when we talk about moments like Miami Vice or like Eddie Murphy with hip hop for the first time on television, that was stuff that was never on television back in the old days.
Right.
Like, because we didn't control the airwaves, they didn't care about our culture, we was just doing us, right? But Soul was on the list. Soul Train, which I know Shane Shane could watch it now in repeats. But I used to watch Soul Train every Saturday as a kid. Mm-hmm. You know, that was appointment TV. Because you never know who was going to be on Soul Train that week. They had the dances, they had the fashion, they had the music.
I wasn't hip hop, but it
definitely wasn't hip hop.
It was hipsters. I don't know what you want to call them, but they were 70s grooving. Now, I mean, it was fun just to see them on this Soul Train line going down the line.
So watch this. So Shane, there's this group called Shalimar. You probably never heard of Shalimar. Okay.
Yeah, he has.
You know Shalimar got their start dancing on Soul Train, right? Jeffrey Daniels, Jody Watley were pop locking. Am I making this up?
Absolutely right.
Am I making this? Yes. Got their start on Soul Train. There's a bunch of people that got their start on Soul Train. So Soul Train.
You're gonna get copyrighted.
Hey man, for that? That's not music. All right, so here you go. In Living Color.
Yeah.
Super influential.
Yeah.
In Living Color is so influential. The reason why we have a halftime Super Bowl show is because of In Living Color. Watch this, Shane. You know this story? Okay. Back in the day, when I say back in the day, I'm talking about the early 90s, the Super Bowl would be played, and then at halftime, they roll out some
Up with people.
Oh my gosh. Some dry band. And Keenan Ivory Wayans, to his credit, goes, man, there's a window about 15 minutes there where everybody's watching TV. They put on a special Super Bowl episode of In Living Color where they did like 15 minutes. They had a counter there, and it got so many views. The Super Bowl was like, hey,
we need to have something special.
We need to put something in here. And the next year, was it Michael Jackson?
Michael Jackson.
And then they were off and running. After that, it was like every year. But that was a master stroke idea. I don't know how Keenan. I would love to get him on our show to talk to him about what did you see?
And see, the whole thing was because Fox didn't have they didn't have the Super Bowl, so they were really conscious about let's do some counter programming, get people away from.
But that was genius.
But it was genius.
It was, and I remember one of the skits they did was the Homeboys where they had a truck and they pulled
pulled up to the Super Bowl and
they
selling stuff.
Oh my God, man! Look, see. Okay, so that one is an amazing show. The Richard Pryor Show.
Oh yeah,
4 episodes. 4 episodes. And I know this because I watched all 4 of them, and they was like,
we can't do this.
No. He did an opening. You remember this? He did an opening where he put on a nude suit. And he's doing the opening, and you see his chest, and then they pan back, and he's got this nude suit on, but he has no genitalia.
Right.
And they was like, bruh, stop it, Ty.
He was a giant Ken doll, and it was hilarious. And they were like, I could see the censors going, no.
Or the other skit he did, remember the black president?
Oh, yeah.
Remember that one?
Oh,
Mr. President, Marshall Warfield, such and such and such from Jet Magazine. Mr. So I'm again, YouTube is your friend. You can check all this stuff, but the Richard Pryor show was way ahead of its time because, like, we talking about In Living Color, and then later on the Chappelle show and all these shows. It was that level of comedy, but like 1976, 77. Yeah, the TV wasn't ready for that yet. Uptown Comedy Club. I don't know. Oh, I do remember Uptown Comedy Club. It was a lot of comedians got their start on that show. The Chappelle show, I don't have to say anything, man.
No.
Chappelle show, game changer. I remember the pilot, and I didn't know whether to laugh or be incensed when they did the Clayton Bigsby.
Oh my God, that was hilarious.
I don't know. I think
that was the most insightful,
I remember watching that
hilarious.
Going, what in the entire H is going on? But it was funny.
It was incredible. I mean, the whole premise of a black white supremacist.
A blind black white.
He divorced his wife because he found out that she was. I can't say it.
Oh my God, man. There are so many skits that were. The racial draft, that was a classic. Your boy from DC,
Donnell Rawlins.
Donnell Rawlins, man, when they had everybody got their what was their
reparations.
Reparations. Man, is this your truck? You a truck driver? Truck driver? I bought this truck. I'm rich. I love the Chappelle show, man. So Def Comedy Jam, another landmark show. Did you ever watch? Yeah, okay. But you didn't see it live. You saw you didn't watch it live. Yeah.
Def Comedy Jam, how long did it run?
Def Comedy Jam ran for like 5 years, but Martin Lawrence was a superstar in that show. He was the host with the most. And there were so many comedians that nobody had ever heard of who became household names.
I mean,
Bill Bellamy.
Yeah.
Who created Booty Call. That was a Bill Bellamy joke. Back in the day, Bernie Mac. I remember his first time.
Before he was a king, he was on the. Yeah.
Now I'm also gonna say this, and you can be mad at me if you want to, because I know there's some friends of Martin Lawrence that live in this area. Martin Lawrence stole the persona of Shanae from a character who was on the very first episode. If you go back and watch the pilot for Def Comedy Jam, there's this brother that did a skit that would end up being like a Shanae character. He didn't call it Shanae, and Martin Lawrence was the host, and he must have looked at that and was like, oh, I'm taking that. And he took and ran with that. But that, and the guy, I'm telling you, because my significant other is friends with somebody who knows the guy.
Okay.
So when I watched it, I was like, hey. So yes. Martin, you stole that. Never mind. Anyway. Hey. Black Lady Sketch Show.
He put a stank on it.
It stank all right. Black Lady Sketch Show.
Okay.
My girl Robin Thede, man.
Come on, big supporters of the show, of Black Reel Awards.
Yes.
And hilarious people. We got Kingta Brunson, who now is on Abbott Elementary. She came out of there.
Absolutely, man.
So, yeah.
The Chris Rock Show. I don't know if,
Chris Rock, the show was like Arsenio Hall, it was a talk show where
it was a talk show where they had skits, and he had people like Wanda Sykes, who I think was the first time I'd ever seen her, was on the Chris Rock show. Chris Rock show for its time was funny, but when Chappelle's show came out,
it just knocked it out the box.
It was really So, the Arsenio Hall show. Wow. Arsenio Hall show, we have not before or since had anybody black, because I'm sure Magic Johnson had a show. There have been tons of people who have done late night shows.
Jennifer Hudson has a show now.
Right, but I'm talking about late night.
Oh, no.
Yeah, there's nobody that had Arsenio Hall who's black who had the impact that show had. That show ran for 5 years. Shane, when I tell you everybody was on that show, I'm not talking about everybody black. I'm talking about everybody. Madonna came and did the Arsenio Hall show.
Right.
Bill Clinton was running for president. He came on the Arsenio Hall show.
The only reason why Bill Clinton became president was because he was on the Arsenio Hall show. Playing the saxophone.
Playing the saxophone. I remember he had an episode one night because Eddie Murphy and him were really, really close. So that was his boy. So Eddie came on the show like 10 times, right?
Yeah.
Eddie was on there one night, and Michael Jackson came on, did a walk-on to give Eddie Murphy an award.
Eddie Murphy. Mm-hmm.
That show was not. That would be like today. I don't know who would.
There is no like today.
No, but I'm just saying. Like, who would be two major superstars that could be in the same room at the same time? Because Arsenio did that all the time, every night on that show.
Every night.
Luther's on the show. Like, anybody who was big during that time, black or white. Sylvester Stallone came on there. Warren Beatty. Like, he had, when I say he had everybody, it was almost like, it was a cool place to be. It was a different vibe because Johnny Carson was on the air at the same time. So it was like the flip side of Johnny Carson. Johnny Carson was kind of like you never watched Johnny Carson either. Okay, I was going to say because I got to explain Johnny Carson. But yes, but yeah, that was huge. Let's see, Teen Summit. Which is ironic that we're bringing Teen Summit up because we're literally sitting in the space where Teen Summit was filmed.
Right here, yep.
Literally, I'm not talking about in the city. No, in the room, in this space where they used to make Teen Summit.
Same building, same everything.
Let's see. What was his name? Prince DeJour.
Yeah.
Prince DeJour. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I'll
question.
Yes.
Do you think Teen Summit was a DC thing? I mean, I know it played on BET networks, but
you're talking about like people in the city,
right?
I mean, absolutely.
I mean, do you think people outside the city resonated with Teen Summit like we do?
It's almost like asking, like, does 106 in Park resonate? It was shows that were generated through BET back in the day. Cool BET. Like, I'm sure there's some kids, like, I don't know, because we live here.
Right.
That are our age that probably like, man, I used to watch Teen Summit. So, but I have a different relationship because...
Yeah, because you used to work, kind of.
I used to date somebody who worked in the background on Teen Summit.
We don't need that. TMI. Move on.
And watch this. If you're listening, you know who you are. That's why I was always here. That's why I was like, Teen Summit. Oh, yeah.
So I'd like to call some of our critic friends in like Kansas City and Los Angeles.
To find out if they watch Teen Summit. Yeah, that's a good one. Let's see. We got a couple more. Roots.
That's not a
sketch comedy show, so we'll get to that. Right. So we're gonna have to go into overtime today because we spent so much time doing this. But Charles, I think you and I probably need to talk offline about how we're gonna whittle some of these down because I've read through some of these today, and I think I have a list of some that I can cut, and I want to find out, do you have a list of some you can cut?
Yep, I think so.
Yeah,
I think so.
So I think next week we should give ourselves like a couple of weeks to cut, and then we can spend a show or two just doing rankings. Because I think the easiest way to do this is that we've got to look at all of the different areas, then cut what we don't need and get down to the 100, and then it becomes about, or maybe, let me take that back. Maybe we do all the cutting today. Like we get between, when I'm talking about not today as in on the show, but I'm saying over this weekend, we sit around and cut what we don't, the 30 or 30 some odd shows that are there and get down to 100 and then get into a ranking process. And maybe the easier way to do it would be to rank the list in thirds, right? So you go from 1 to 33, 34 to 66, and then 67 into 100 to figure out the tiers. Because there's definitely some tiers. There's definitely some tiers to some of these shows.
Yeah.
Like for instance, a show like Martin. What tier is Martin in for you? Is it Martin the first, second, or third tier show?
First tier.
I agree. Shane, Martin, first tier.
Yeah.
That's My Mama. Best case scenario is a third. That's a third. That's a third tier show.
Okay.
On this list,
I was gonna
that's
say,
my mama.
The best it could be is second tier.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I see. You got the generous list already. Let me throw out one more to find out your tier system. The Mod Squad. Where's that on the tier list?
Wow, I think that's gonna have to be third tier.
I would argue it's a second tier, like second or third. It's not a first tier.
Oh no. No.
So that's my issue. All right, so I got you. So
because to me, it's like how many people know the Mod Squad for real?
Well, I think part of and this almost reminds me of when we were doing the list about the top 75 artists or some of these list shows that we've done, right? And we have to think of it not just as stuff we know, but you got to think about the impact.
Right,
so for an example, even though a show like Atlanta is pretty new, Atlanta's a first tier show. Atlanta is a first tier show.
Yeah.
You know, Queen Sugar. You can make the argument Queen Sugar can be a first tier show in the top 30. You don't think Queen Sugar is not a top 30 show?
You can't put too many people in the top tier, and Queen Sugar is.
Well, if you can put 30, so the tiers are almost 30 people a tier.
Right.
Now you're right because the first tier is already filled up with I think a disproportionate number of comedies. I just hate to say it that way. You know, you start thinking about stuff like, I'm not going to do any names, but you start thinking about some of the names on this list, and there's some definite first tiers. So I think that's the easiest way once we get down to the 100 to figure out.
So let me ask you this. Ask you this one.
Yes, sir.
The Jeffersons, first or second tier?
From a cultural standpoint, it was a comedy that ran 13 years. Mm-hmm. Remember that? Everybody knew George Jefferson and Wheezy, George and Wheezy and Florence. Depends on your age.
Yeah.
See, if you're asking me,
it's first tier.
It's a show that I probably would put in the first tier, but I think realistically, maybe second tier. I don't think it's a third tier show.
No, definitely not.
It's not a third tier show. Yeah, I would say second. I don't know if the Jeffersons culturally is a show that to me would be a first tier show. Good Times is another one you'd have to struggle with. Good Times, I always struggled with Good Times from the standpoint that they every time they had an opportunity to get out the ghetto, they could never get out. And it just always, even as a kid, I was like, I don't understand what's happening here. Florida, take the $10,000 and get out the hood. Nope. So, all right, so let's do this, man, because we're going into overtime. But let's wrap up this by saying, as we tell you guys every week in closing, please see something good at the movies. We're not talking movies today. We're talking television. We'll have more on the other side on overtime. You guys keep it where you got it. And we'll see you guys next week for part 2. Take care.